Today I want to teach you that to become flexible word solvers, one of the tricks readers use is to use two strategies at the same time. Specifically, it helps to reread a sentence and to think about what word probably goes in that spot, and then check it by reading the first chunk of the word. Readers, can you pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time? I tried it with very little success. It's hard, right? Well, the work that I'm going to teach you today is hard in just that same way. The trick is that you have to do several things at once. I know you have heard of this before, but it is becoming super important now that you are second graders and growing into such grown-up books. Have any of you noticed that the words in your books are becoming long and hard? What are some hard words that you have been reading lately? Maybe words like spaghetti or encyclopedia. What about salamander? Those are some pretty hard words. So let's take a word like one of those and try doing two things at once. Watch how I solve this tricky word. I need to do two things at once. First, I'll reread the sentence and think about what word would make sense. Second, I'll double check my guess by looking at the first part of the word. Then I'll put the two things together. I'll reread the sentence again and run right into that tricky word so that it pops right out. Are you ready to watch? Here is the word. And here is the sentence. First, I'm rereading and thinking really hard about what makes sense. The octopus reached its long something or other into a fish tank. It's got to be like part of his body, a long part. Now I'm going to double check with the first chunk of the word. 10. The first part of the word is 10. Next, let me reread the whole sentence and run right into the tricky word so that it might pop right out of my mouth. Putting them together. You ready? The octopus reached its long 10 tentacles into the next fish tank. That's it, it's tentacles. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to try? This time you are going to work to try to solve that tricky word. Remember to do two things at once. Reread the sentence with your thinking cap on, trying to figure out what might go in that spot. And chunk the word into parts. Read the first part, then the next. See if, presto, the word comes to your mind. Before I put the sentence on the board, I want to ask you to whisper into your hand super quickly so you don't give the word away and ruin the fun. What word would make sense here? I'm guessing that the word that's tricky for us is that long word that's in quotations. I'm going to give you a few minutes to practice. Remember, trying two things at once. If you aren't done with the last sentence, go ahead and push pause and make sure you finish reading that sentence. Remember, I said it was a tricky one. And then I have another one for you. In this sentence, I think the tricky word is probably going to be that last word in this sentence. Remember, you are going to have to try two things at once. Rereading the sentence with your thinking cap on, and then chunking out that word. Readers, the main thing I'm hoping you see is that when you come to tricky words, you need to be flexible word solvers. You can't just throw up your hands and say, help me, help me. Not in second grade. No way.